Hey guys, it's Hazeltail, and today I have another decluttering video. In this series, I'm going to be going through all my makeup and deciding what to keep and what to get rid of because I have way too much. And what I'm getting rid of, I'm probably going to be giving to my friends and family. What isn't gone bad, because a lot of it has gone bad. This one is for my foundations and my powders, like my face powders. This is actually the third time I've tried to film this video. I've been having just a ton of problems with my camera, so hopefully it works out this time. I'll just start over here with the liquid foundations. First of all, I have my Urban Decay All-Nighter foundation in shade 0.5, which is the lightest shade. This is my favorite full coverage foundation right now, my favorite liquid foundation in general, and I'm definitely keeping this. Next I have the Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation. I do really like this foundation. It's in shade 0.5 like the other one, but this line of foundations is a little darker. Anyway, I would like to keep it, but it is too old, so I'm going to be getting rid of it. I might repurchase the Naked Skin. It's a nice light foundation, like it doesn't have super full coverage, but I still like it. Then we have this L'Oreal True Match foundation. It's in C1 Alabaster. They separate their foundation colors into cool, neutral, and warm, and this is the lightest of the cool colors. This is like a medium coverage foundation, and obviously from the drugstore, and I might repurchase it, but this particular bottle is really old, so again, I have to get rid of it. Then we have the IT Cosmetics CC Plus Cream. Let me see what the shade of this is. It's in Fair, which is probably the lightest color. I really like this. It has a really nice natural finish, and it's pretty good coverage for a CC cream. I would say it's light to medium. And I do like that this is a squeezy tube that also has a pump. Like, that is great. I need to clean mine. But I am definitely going to be keeping this. Next we have the Radiant Tinted Moisturizer from Sonia Kashuk. This is in the shade Fair. Now, I didn't like this very much. It was kind of too, too moisturizing, too kind of oily on my skin. I'm not super into a radiant finish, so that's probably why. So I will be getting rid of this one. The last liquid foundation here is the CoverGirl True Blend foundation in 405. This is super old. I have no idea how old this is, and it's really gross looking in the bottle, so I am getting rid of this, and I don't even remember what it was like. That's how old it is. Now we're gonna move on to my powder foundations. First we have the Kat Von D, I think it's just called Locket Powder Foundation. And I have it in the shade 42. It's a really light matte powder foundation, and it comes with a sponge. I haven't used the sponge, but it's there. And I really like this. It is one of my daily powders, and I'm definitely keeping this. Next we have the Laura Geller Baked Balance and Brighten Foundation. This is my other daily foundation. This one kind of has not a luminous finish, but more natural, and wow, there's a lot of powder kicked up. But I'll give you a little swatch so you can see the finish. See, it's very skin-like, not overly matte. And I like that when my skin is doing pretty good. Like, it has good coverage, but it also accentuates dryness. But I am definitely going to be keeping this, and I believe this is in the shade Porcelain. I have two of the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat powder foundations. They're in two different colors, and I know one of them is way too yellow for me, and last I checked the other one was too deep, but it might be okay now. I'll have to look at it. This first one is in shade 4, Creamy Natural. This was the one that was too dark. Oh, okay. There wasn't that much left and it all broke, so apparently I am getting rid of this one. This one is in the shade Ivory, and this is probably the one that's, yes, that's very yellow. So I'll try to give this to one of my friends if it matches their skin. We'll see. This is very similar to the Laura Geller Baked Balance and Brighten foundation. It's like a very similar finish on the skin. Then we have a mineral foundation. I believe this is from Amazing Cosmetics. It is the Velvet Mineral Foundation in Fair Extra Light. I'll swatch this and see how the color is. I haven't used this in a long time. The color is a little yellow, not as bad as the NYX one, so I think I'll keep it for now and try and see how it works out. This is the last of what I would consider powder foundations. It's the L'Oreal True Match Pressed Powder. This is in the shade C1 Alabaster, so the same as the liquid foundation I had to get rid of. I don't really remember a lot about this foundation. I haven't used it in a long time, but the color seems like it'll work, so I will definitely keep it and try it out. The NYX Blotting Mattifying Powder, or just blotting powder, I have actually never used this. It's in the shade Light, the first shade, and I don't know, I don't use blotting powder very much, but that's what it looks like. It's a nice color. Fairly translucent, pretty normal for blotting powder. I think this would probably be good to set your foundation. I'm not really one to blot throughout the day, but I will be keeping this. Then we have the Wet n Wild Coverall Pressed Powder in Fair. I have never used this. I found it in a drawer when I was getting ready for this video, and I actually had to like open up the plastic using some scissors. It comes with a little sponge. I am not going to be using the sponge. I like that. It feels fairly good. Okay, that actually has pretty decent coverage, so that might be more of a powder foundation. And I'm definitely going to keep that and play around with it. I have two of the CoverGirl Clean Pressed Powders. I think they're in different shades. This first one is in 120 Creamy Natural, and this one is in shade 105 Ivory. Now, I don't use these very often. I used to use these a lot more than I do now. I think I'll keep the Ivory shade just so I have something that's light enough for me in the winter. So I'll hang on to that one. Oh, this one has a gross puff on it. I don't want to keep that, so yeah, I'm getting rid of that. I don't know what's wrong with past me that I thought it was okay to let the puff just stay dirty like that. And speaking of gross powder puffs, this is a very old CoverGirl translucent powder. And it's so old and disgusting that I'm not going to show it to you, but believe you me, there's a disgusting powder puff in there, so I am getting rid of this. Then I have these two high definition translucent loose powders. I have the full size of the e.l.f. high definition powder in translucent, and a little mini of the Makeup Forever HD powder, I believe it's called. Yeah, HD high definition powder. I use translucent powder under my eyes almost every single day to set my concealer, so I am going to be keeping the e.l.f. one for sure because that is my favorite. And then I'll keep the Makeup Forever one to travel with because it's so small. So in total, I'm keeping 2 liquid foundations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 powders, and I'm getting rid of 4 liquid foundations and 4 powders. That's not the best, but I think it's fairly good considering I use these things every day. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like so I know you liked it. And there will definitely be more videos in this series coming up, so keep an eye out for them and hit the subscribe button so you get notified. I love you guys. Bye!